Well, here we are again, Keith, on my Friday night. Again, not putting the video on private, hoping someone will be able to find it in the depths of the internet. Here I am in my room in DY. Got my nice little picture of me and my friend um, just looking off over a cliff. And we're here to talk about the Greek indicative verbal system. Um, but before we start, let's explain what a verb is. A verb is a word that makes a statement about a subject or um, transfers an action from the subject to an object, or in my simple terms, it's a doing word. Greek verbs differ greatly from English words, of course they do. Got to make Greek harder in the way that they are inflected in particular. Greek verbs consist of two basic parts. They have what's called a stem, which contains a lexical or dictionary meaning of the word, and then they have one or more affixes which indicate the function of the word in the particular sentence it's in. And these can be added onto the front or put on the end, normally to give different meanings. The indicative mood, which is the mood of the indicative verbal system, indicates that the speaker affirms the factuality of the statement. For example, I have not finished the video yet. The I have not finished part is true, but in 4 minutes I will have finished. As well as the mood, the indicative Greek verbal system also takes on voice. There's 3 voices: the active, middle, and passive voice. Finally, verbs take on tense or aspect, and there are 7 tenses in Greek. Each has a different meaning relating to the actuality and the timing of an event. And so all these things combine to convey the meaning of verbs in sentences. Wonderful. And unlike the English, where the person and number is indicated in a separate word, like I have or you have, I and have are different. In Greek, they decided to put it all together, which is just wonderful and makes our life a lot more easier. And in Greek, the person, number, and meaning are all conveyed in the one word. The person, e.g., first, second, or third, and the number, singular or plural, are contained in and added to the stem of the verb as a person number suffix. This can get confusing as it means that each verb has an internal subject, and when an external subject for a verb is given, we have to remember that the internal subject is not translated. And Greek also distinguishes between the second person singular and second person plural, which we don't in England. Everything's just you or use if you don't speak proper English. The other thing to note is the meaning of verbs in a sentence can and do often translate differently depending on the context. So context is absolutely key when it comes to verbs in Greek. So verbs in Greek convey tense, voice, mood, person, and number, all within the one word. And as mentioned earlier, the biggest way Greek verbs differ from English is through inflection. Inflection changes the voice, tense, and person that the verb is relating to in the sentence. So to do this, each verb contains a number of parts, and these parts are called morphemes. They can be either a lexical morpheme, which is often the stem, or a grammatical or inflectional morpheme. And these morphemes convey, and the grammatical morphemes convey information of the word's grammatical meaning within the sentence. For example, if it happened in the past, that's conveyed in the grammatical morpheme. And every Greek verb contains a lexical morpheme, but then there is 7 other things that can be added, either as a prefix or a suffix to the lexical morpheme or the stem. There's the past time morpheme or historic augment, added to convey something in the past. We've got the perfective aspect, which is indicated by perfective reduplication. We have the passive voice morpheme, indicating the verb is in the passive voice. We have the future time morpheme, indicating the verb's in the future, or the action will happen in the future. And we have another aspect morpheme for the aorist aspect, and the aspect morphemes differ to convey voice, middle or passive, included in that. And then there's an ending or a final morpheme, which in the indicative mood is a person number suffix, and that gives us the person and number that the verb is relating to. So there's a lot going on with verbs in the Greek. And so I just thank God that they all laid out nicely into paradigms for us, and luckily are quite well organised and thought out. They make sense, and they all, fit in their little box. At least so far in the indicative Greek verbal system. But who knows what I have coming for me in the rest of my time studying Greek. Can't wait. Keen as. See you there, Keith. That was 6 minutes again. But then I do ramble on for a bit.